Hello, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake, and today I am gonna take you into a little subsection of my collection, and that is the subsection from Enjoy the Ride Records. Yes, I've got some cassette tapes, and I have some vinyls, and I have some Blu-rays. Enjoy the Ride does not get talked about enough, and I am trying to change that little by little, and I'm gonna try to convince you by the end of this video, if you don't have anything from ETR Media in your collection, you should change that. The quality of their releases is phenomenal. Let's start off with the movies. I'll do movies and then I'll do music. I feel like people that are watching this video want to see the movies first. They not recently, a few years ago, a couple years ago, they signed on to do some partnership with OCN Direct, which is a sub-label of Vinegar Syndrome. So if you've ever gotten anything from Vinegar Syndrome, anything from their partner labels, you know that the quality of their releases is top-notch. And one of my favorite slipcovers in my entire collection is this sucker. We have Goldenera, the documentary about Goldeneye007. Documentary is very solid. The packaging, though, oh my god. He slipped this out. And we have a N64 shell inside, looking mighty nice. Here's the flip cover as well. Push that up. You got a whole bunch of reviews on there. Just a very solid dock. A lot of cool extras for special features as well. You open it up, the disc looks like the proximity mine from the game. Just very cool stuff. And with their releases, you also get different alternate artwork that you can flip to. I want to say this is the original poster artwork from back when they were promoting the movie when it first came out. That's a very cool release. I also love on here, I guess they have it on this one too, but you can't really see it that well. Very animated looking Shigeru Miyamoto. Love seeing that. If you ever played 007 on the N64, I think you would enjoy this documentary. Another one to kind of go in that line, I really hope like anytime they do anything video game related, they go with this style. Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater documentary. I played dozens, maybe hundreds of hours of this game, of this franchise. When I was in elementary school, the PS1 versions hit, played a ton of that. I probably sunk the most time into Tony Hawk's Underground 2, the one with Bam Margera in it. I was a huge Jackass fan, so when that hit the streets, I was there day one. Loved this franchise. I loved it when the 1 and 2 remakes came out. Had a fun time going back into my memory lane, being like, oh yeah, I remember why I love this game. And watching this documentary kind of gives you the same feeling too. Here's the front and the back. Again, the N64 cartridge-inspired logo on the front cover and back cover. And it's blue, too, just like the N64 game was. I never played an N64. I was more of a PlayStation guy. But I like the packaging here. We also have a skateboard wheel. And this reminds me of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I want to say, like, the main menu of the first game was reminiscent of this wheel, if I remember correctly. Let's see if my memory is that sharp or not. I am not quite 1,000% sure, but there is the alternate artwork. I'll take the book out here to show you the back of that as well. All of their stuff is just so high quality. They put a lot of love and care and intricate little details that you don't see until like your second, third time through on there. Like I was just putting this through and I did not realize that this was bonus materials, and it tells you like how many minutes of bonus materials there are on here. Very, very cool stuff. Got a director's commentary, 30 minutes of additional interviews and footage, drone footage of the new Neversoft offices. That's just very cool. And then we also have a booklet, kind of like what you would get back in the day when you bought your video games. And here are just a few images of that in there. I got to put this back before I slide it in here. But the next title that I'm going to show you, very near and dear to my heart. I still don't know how this happened. I guess I do. I'm baffled and honored and humbled that it did happen. Back when Family Video was closing, I took a picture of myself buying my last haul of used movies from Family Video. I held it up. I'll show you an image here. I held up the image on my Instagram, just showing all the movies that I bought. the founder of Enjoy the Ride Records saw that image, kind of had inspiration for artwork on their latest release as of me recording this. Everything to entertain you. I absolutely love that, like, I had inspiration on some type of physical media cover artwork. That's always going to be just a tip of a cap, a feather in my cap. That's what it is. One of those two. Something to mark off the bucket list for sure. Last year, I was in a documentary, which I always wanted to do. This year, I had help making artwork for a physical media release, the back cover. Kind of night and day difference there. It's just cool. I'm hoping one of these days, fingers crossed, maybe this year, maybe next year, I'll actually be part of like a special feature, bonus feature, anything like that. Maybe do a commentary. If anybody's out there listening, I would love to make that into a reality. Here's the front and back cover, everything to entertain you. Again, I haven't had this in my collection for that long, so I haven't had time to watch it. So I'm hoping that it's good. When I posted this story on my socials, on Instagram, the director of this movie was very supportive and humbled as well, that I was so humbled by having some type of connection with his film. So, yeah, it's just a very cool story. I love how there's different VHS-inspired artwork on one side and just some like blue sky on the other. I want to say here, I don't think I showed off the spines on these. Here is pretending I'm a Superman. And here is Goldenera, just the red and the gold. But here are 3 movies. I have 6 more left, so we're a third of the way done. This next documentary, I saw this streaming on Prime Video, I believe, and I enjoyed the ever-loving crap out of it. The reason why I watched the documentary is because last year, I watched Galaxy Quest for the first time. Absolutely fell in love with that movie. Don't know why I didn't watch it before then. So immediately I went and saw Never Surrender streaming. And I was very floored by the making of this movie as well. Just as enthralled as what I was when I watched the movie itself. So when ETR Media came out with this very cool packaging, it looks like a model of the ship from Galaxy Quest. I jumped on board immediately. I am very happy to own this movie in my collection. I love the Star Trek inspired graphics with the Galaxy Quest people in here. Got some Tim Allen. Absolutely love this. I haven't actually opened this yet. I'll do so right now. Have you seen Galaxy Quest? Because if you haven't, I'm not even a big... the only Star Trek movies I've watched are the J.J. Abrams ones. I haven't even seen Beyond. I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen any episode of the show. I'm not a big Star Wars guy either, but yet I fell in love with Galaxy Quest. Should I watch Star Trek? If I like this movie, should I watch Star Trek? Here is the inside with the disc, and then without too. This is what I remember streaming online, that artwork. Yeah, I am very happy to own this in my collection, and I was excited when ETR Media got the rights to this. Let's see here. Next. Actually, this would be a good one to go to last to go into the music. Next. Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger is my favorite horror movie icon. Love the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. This is a documentary specifically, like half the documentary is about my Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 and the main actor that's in there and how his life was before he made that movie, after he made that movie, and yeah, just very entertaining throughout. One thing that I can say about all of the ETR Media movies that I have seen is that there's not a bad one in the bunch, which... if you're a fan of Vinegar Syndrome, you can't say that like hardly ever. Every single one of these movies that I have talked about that I've seen have been great. I would highly recommend this, especially if you are a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. You can see that this is embossed, looking very nice. And I love how you can read the title if you put this through, but if you take it out, it also just has artwork on the inside as well. Nice little touch here. A ton of special features in this sucker. I think I spent close to an hour going through everything in here, and all the special features are good. worth watching for sure. I'm not even going to take the disc out because the disc artwork kind of blends into that original poster artwork, which is nice. And I don't know if you want me to flip through some of the book, but I will. It talks about how like Freddy Krueger is like a gay icon almost. Like this is I don't know, very entertaining. I don't really want to ruin a lot of it for you either. If you know nothing about the backstory of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, highly recommend. It's a very good. This next movie I've not seen yet. I heard that it's very reminiscent of Skinamarink. That's it. A little bit more actiony, I guess. The Outwaters. I know that I want to watch this at some point, but this was selling out like crazy, and I wanted to make sure that I had it in my collection. Back when this originally came out, Screambox is all over the place, but they're numbered, but every distributor that comes out with it, it's hard to grab a complete collection of Screambox titles. And when ETR came out with one, I'm like, yeah, I will totally get this. So here's the front, the back. If you've seen The Outwaters, let me know what you thought of it in the comments, because honestly, I've heard very mixed things about it. But I'm intrigued by it too, you know? I heard that like there's like a 10-minute sequence where all you see is like an image of the screen just like that big. And I don't know why, and that's all I know about this movie. But yeah, I know the missus wants to watch it with me, so we just got to find time to do that. Here's the inside. Boom, with disc artwork. Pop this out. Is that the original poster artwork? Oh my god. That does not look the best. I'll be honest. I don't know if it's good or bad, so I can't talk anything about it. But what I will say is that one of these days I will get to this. Hopefully on my podcast, Boutique Talk, I will have on the founder of Enjoy the Ride Records. We're in talks now. We just got to find a time that works. And when that happens, I will watch every single one of these releases so I can talk to him a little bit, at least for a few minutes. One that I have seen, Low Sound Desert. This is about like a punk music scene that was in the deserts of California, I believe. California, Arizona. Yeah, California. Where some like Queens of the Stone Age kind of found their groove. It's interesting. It's slow at times. It grabs the essence of a scene, like a music scene, very well. Like it just kind of drops you in and shows you just what goes on in a couple guys' random lives, whether it be like where they're working at or at like an empty pool with a concert magically just filling up around them. Interesting. Not my type of music. I will say though, there's a band that kind of came out of this scene called Caius. That's pretty good. But not the music that I listen to on a daily basis. So I didn't really groove with the documentary as well as somebody who likes this type of music would. We got two more movies here at the video store. I love me some video stores. I love that they came out with two different documentaries about the video store process, because it's just a vibe that's gone for the majority. Like there's some independents out there, but there's no big chains anymore. And seeing a lot of the independent chains in this movie, I want to say this was directed like 6-7 years ago in 2019. So 5 years ago. And to kind of see that there's some independent chains still going to this day just kind of makes me happy. There's a lot of celebrities talking about video store experiences. I really like the Bill Hader stuff that was in here. Yeah, if you like the video store experience, I would recommend this. And the last one that's going to blend into the music stuff afterwards is Vinyl Nation. I don't talk about my music collecting too much at all, but I have about 150-ish records upstairs. I enjoy the process of putting putting a record on, popping it in, getting the needle on, and just having like that cracking sound while you play it. It sounds so nice and warming and heartfelt. It sounds different than when you just listen on headphones or when you like blare it through a Bluetooth speaker. There's something about the analog style of records that I absolutely love. But here's the front cover and the back cover. Again, another nice documentary about just record collecting and doing it with a group of people and making it an event. Collecting, that's part of it that doesn't happen as often as I'd like. The older I get, the less I go out in public with groups of people and have a common interest, you know? You do it a lot in a teen, in your teens and 20s, but then you have kids, you don't go out as often, or when you do, you got to bring the kids, and it's just nice to kind of have like a sense of community. That's why I like doing all this stuff online. Getting like-minded people around at all times is always nice. But yeah, Vinyl Nation, if you like collecting vinyls, this is a no-brainer. You should watch this doc. But that will lead us in. I guess I won't do vinyls yet. I'll do vinyls last. But I will say I'm not a big cassette guy. I don't have anything to play cassette tapes on. But Enjoy the Red Records knows how to make a very cool cassette tape if I hold up right. There we go. First one we will do is the Clerks 3 soundtrack. And I enjoyed Clerks 3. It's fine. It's probably the weakest of the franchise, but I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and I love Clerks. I love that whole universe. If you know that universe, you know that in their cigarette holders are the Nails cigarettes. And I love how the packaging of this resembles that. Here's the front, side, back, all that jazz. Opens up like cigarettes. The tape deck looks like a thing of cigarettes, and it shows every single artist and song on the cigarettes, which is great. And I think the tape is just a tape. Black and white, black and white. Just a cool release. And there's the inside. If you collect cassettes, let me know. Because I don't know anybody that collects cassettes around me or anything, or plays cassettes. My first car had a cassette player, but even then I only had like a couple. Here's another one for the soundtrack of TMNT Turtles in Time. And this, I feel like, would hum beautifully on cassette tape. Like, this is the main reason why I would want to get a cassette tape. And they're probably cheap. They're probably super cheap. Oh, you pop it open. This looks like an SNES game. I'm telling you, Enjoy the Red Records knows how to package their stuff. I love it so much. The tape is blue. They had 4 different variants, actually, for the different colors of Turtles. There's the front and the back. I would love to hear this on a cassette tape, but I don't have anything to play it. I'm hoping that when I'm thrifting, one of these times I'll find a cassette player, but those are getting more rare and rare to find. I don't know. If you collect cassettes, let me know. I collect vinyls. I enjoy listening to titles that way. Let's go through some of them right now. Let's start off with a banger. Let's start off with Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, the soundtrack. Yes, folks. This is like one of the 25, 30 movies that I had when I was growing up on VHS. So I've seen this thing so many freaking times. And now that I'm able to have the soundtrack on vinyl, it's amazing. There's the inside. I'll show off the vinyls too, because they make some amazing looking pressings, let me tell you what. Okay. You ready for this? Get it out of the sleeve. Here it is in all of its green glory. There's the rhino on side A. You know it's going to be on side B? Yeah, side B. Absolutely love that. If you have seen the movie, probably the most memorable scene, either that or the Monopoly Man, or like him with lemons on the eyeballs and asparagus for the teeth. There's a lot of good to be had here with Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. I think I might like that movie better than the first. I've seen it more than the first. And the Finkel is Einhorn stuff on the first movie just doesn't age that well. It doesn't age that well at all. Oh, I forgot. The Flick Pick pen that I'm wearing is also made by ETR Media as well. I don't have this vinyl, but they made a vinyl of the soundtrack for Election, and I love Election. And when I got sent a couple of things from ETR Media, they threw in this pin as a nice, just free bonus. So I'm glad to have the Flick Pick pen in my collection. It's very, very good. Next one I'll show off is another movie that I really liked. It's only on streaming. It would be awesome if ETR had the rights to put it on Blu-ray. But I have the soundtrack to Beavis and Butthead to the Universe on vinyl. Very, very cool stuff. I was never the biggest Beavis and Butthead fan, but the older I get, the more I watch of their stuff. Like, really, I only watch, like, their music video things. I love the poster that this came with. I'll show it kind of zoomed in. You can look at this forever. I'll go kind of quick. But yeah, this special is just nice. I want to say this has a different colored pressing. Yeah, it does. Yeah, here are some more of those beautiful splotches. Here's side A. And side B. Right there. Are there any other vinyl collectors watching this right now? If there are, let me know. Because this is a type of hobby that I don't really talk about. I'm always talking about my movies, and I love collecting movies, but it's not the only thing that I collect. I collect a lot of things. Some things are dumber than others. I collect VHS tapes too. That's another thing I don't talk about too much. I collect movie glasses, like not pint glasses, but just like drinking glasses. I have a ton of those, and a lot of cool ones too. Here's the soundtrack to Beowulf. The movie is okay, but who does this? Is it James Horner? God, someone famous does, and I can't remember what is. Alan Silvestri, excuse me. Alan Silvestri does the soundtrack, does the score here. Score's a banger. Score slaps hard, folks. And so does this vinyl. There we go. There's side A, or side B. Here is side A. I'm a colored vinyl freak. if it's black, it's fine. Just the basic. But if you can give me a colored pressing, I will pick that 10 times out of 10. For sure. Next one that I have to show you. Bride of Chucky. Look at that artwork, folks. I have not listened to this one yet. And I need to very badly. I've been busy. I got this one a couple of weeks ago. I've just been busy with stuff. I haven't had time to throw a vinyl on. Love the inside artwork to this one. And this one is a 2 vinyl set, 2 LP set, excuse me. Here is the first vinyl. You're not ready for this. You're not ready for how amazing this looks. Oh my God. Oh my God. Absolutely love it. We got Chucky right here. About to be possessed. Very cool stuff. And I'll show you the second one here in a second. I had something I was going to say, and I totally forgot. It is slipping my mind. Oh, just Chucky Child's Play. I had the Blu-ray set. I watched all of them, and I am okay if I don't see the majority of the Child's Play movies ever again. I like the first one quite a bit. Second one is fun. Third one I liked as a kid, I don't like now. Bride of Chucky is fun, but again, it's another one where I like the soundtrack more than I do the movie. And here is vinyl number 2, all black and white. Oh, first I'll show you this side, and then it's only a 3-sided LP. On the third side, or on the fourth side, they have the mural of Tiffany and Chucky. Very, very cool stuff. I will slide this back in. And you know what? I'll put all this stuff away. You don't want to watch me doing this? That's fine. I totally get it. You will want to see this, though. 28 Days Later. For me, a very iconic score. I love this score quite a bit. It's got a very cool pressing as well. But all of the songs from 28 Days Later only fit on one side. So here is that side. And on the other side, they have the Biohazard sign, which is also very cool. I mean, they don't put anything on those sides, but it's nice that they do. And I am appreciative of it. Isn't it crazy the prices that the Blu-ray for 28 Days Later is going for right now? Why? Like, I know it's out of print now, but with a new movie in development, you know in a couple of years, that whole, like, 28 days, 28 weeks will probably get at least another Blu-ray release. I don't think 28 Days Later would need a 4K release just because of the way it was shot back in the day. Like, one of the very first movies shot digitally, and it hasn't aged that well, unfortunately. The image quality on 28 Days Later is definitely the worst thing about that movie. I will say that. Next up, a movie I haven't seen, but a cover art that I've seen dozens of times at the video store. Stay tuned. This is a movie that I've always wanted to see. And yeah, I got this sent to me. So I honestly don't know if the soundtrack is any good or not. But like everything that I'm seeing image-wise on this sucker screams that I'm going to love it. And I need to watch it. He also, he knows that I collect laser discs. And he randomly had a laser disc of Stay Tuned. So now I have no reason not to watch this movie. And I plan on it. I think I'm going to watch everything to entertain you before I watch Stay Tuned, but Stay Tuned is definitely on the docket. I'm trying to watch a movie a day in 2024. So I will get around to watching Stay Tuned sometime this year. I know that there's like a Wayne's World parody in this, but that's about all that I know about it. Here is the second LP for Stay Tuned. It just looks mighty nice. And the last soundtrack that I have is, again, to a movie I have not seen, but it looks like a fun time. And that is Lieutenant Jangles. Lieutenant Jangles. And I honestly don't think this is a color pressed one either. I'll double check, but I don't. Ooh, it is. Ooh, that's a fun one even. Okay. What I just told you, never mind. Because that's a fun blue pressing right there. Look at that. Has anybody seen Lieutenant Jangles? I love the artwork. I love the tongue-in-cheek humor look of it. It reminds me of like a Black Dynamite type of parody movie. And I'm all in for that. Like I don't know why that's the one that came to my mind. Just, action spoof comedy here. Sign me up. And the last thing I wanted to show you is whenever you get anything from them, they like to throw in freebies. And some of the freebies that I got are like cards. Here is a card for Clue. I have a couple of these for Clue the movie. Mrs. Peacock. And I have Tim Curry. The Butler. And then I have Christopher Lloyd, Professor Plum, which I think is always cool. To go along with Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, I have Beavis and Butthead. This one got cracked a little bit, unfortunately, but it's cool to have. And the one that I hang up in my collection so I can see it, I have the frickin' card from Rookie of the Year, Henry Rowan Gardner. Absolutely love this. This was also one of the 30 movies I had when I was a kid. So now that I have a trading card of Henry Rowan Gardner, you know how much money, not money as a kid, you know how badly I wanted a trading card of Henry Rowan Gardner when I was a child? I grew up in the Midwest, so like him being on the Cubs too, very good. Daniel Stern directed that movie? I feel like Rookie of the Year has gotten lost to time. I'm hoping that a boutique label comes out with a release of Rookie of the Year. I would lose it. I would watch that day one for sure. But that is my entire collection of ETR Media, Enjoy the Ride records, Enjoy the Tunes records, all that fun stuff. Let me know if you have anything Enjoy the Ride records in your collection. I plan on doing more of these collection videos. If you like this, please like the video so it gives me more motivation to do more of these. I could do Imprint, I could do Scream Factory, I could do Arrow Video, I could do Vestron Video, I could do a bunch of these little sub-genres and just kind of talk with you, show you my collection, have a fun conversational, one-sided conversation, and I'll read your comments and you'll be part of that conversation with me. I love doing that. I love being on here on YouTube. If you are not subscribed and you like this content, please do so. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for watching the entire video, and until next time, I'll see you.